The Town of Newington Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for May 7th, 2026 for 7 p.m. And then we'd like to move to item 1 on the agenda, the roll call.
Commissioner Bashan,
Here.
Commissioner Donald,
Here.
Dunning, Vice Chairman Kolakowski,
Here.
Commissioner Rule,
Here.
Commissioner Gormley,
Here.
and Commissioner Lucas.
Here.
Okay, you're all set.
Do we have to sit a member?
You do have to seat one alternate for Sharon.
Lucas Hool, are you available to sit?
Yeah, I will sit for this meeting. Thank you.
Okay. So Mr. Hool is seated.
Move to item number 2 on the agenda, public participation for items not listed on the agenda. Do we have any?
There is obviously no one in the room that appears, and there is no one online.
Okay. So I'd move to item number 3, public hearings for the petition.
Yes.
Okay.
So I will read. First, I'll read the public hearing notice. Well, usually the secretary reads this public hearing notice, Mr. Lucas.
Sure.
You can read it off of there, and then I will read it as it ran in the paper.
Is it the same on the paper as it is up there?
Should be, yes.
Okay. ZBA 26-1, 377 Connecticut Avenue, requesting variance of section 4.5, table A, and section 4.4.1, corner lots of the Newington zoning regulation to reduce both front yard setbacks on a corner lot. Requesting a 7.1 foot variance along the Connecticut Ave front yard to reduce the setback from 35 feet to 27.9 and a 20.1 foot variance along the Victoria Avenue front yard to reduce the setback from 30 feet to 9.9 feet for the construction of a 22 foot by 24 long foot attached garage. Applicants contact Antonio Giuliano or owner Gloria B. and Antonio G. Giuliano Sr.
So as it ran in the paper, notice the public hearing, May 7th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Notice is hereby given that the Newington Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing in the council chambers, room 103 at Town Hall, 200 Garfield Street, Newington, Connecticut, on Thursday, May 7th, 2026 to consider the following petition. Petition ZBA-26-1, 377 Connecticut Avenue, requesting variances of section 4.5 table A and section 4.4.1 corner lots of the Newington zoning regulations to reduce both front yard setbacks on a corner lot. Requesting a 7.1 foot variance along the Connecticut Avenue front yard to reduce the setback from 35 feet to 27.9 feet and a 20.1 foot variance along the Victoria Avenue front yard to reduce the setback from 30 feet to 9.9 feet for the construction of a 22 by 24 foot attached garage. Applicant contact Antonio Giuliano, owner Gloria B. and Antonio G. Giuliano Sr. This public hearing will be a Zoom webinar hybrid meeting. Information on how to attend will be posted on the town website at link follows. Submitted, Eric S. Hinckley, Assistant Town Planner, Zoning Enforcement Officer. And this legal advertisement ran in the Red Reminder on April 23rd and April 30th. So that's that. You can now have the applicants come up and discuss their petition. This is a general reminder before we get started. As I know I've made you aware before, Antonio, that to get approval, this does require 4 votes.
My name is Antonio Giuliano. I'm here on behalf of my parents, Antonio and Gloria Giuliano. Antonio is here to my right. My mother, unfortunately, couldn't be here. She's recovering from surgery and still can't get into vehicles.
Okay.
So my parents purchased 377 Connecticut Ave in November, so they're new to Newington. They're loving it so far. It's a bit amazing. The neighborhood, the neighbors all agree. They are at a point now where they would like to add a garage to the house. Currently, there's no garage on the house. Unfortunately, there's some hardships that they're facing that prevented them from doing so, which is why I'm here looking for a variance. So hopefully you guys will agree with me. So the three hardships that we're facing, one is the shape of the property. It's not your typical rectangular square. And then the second thing is the 2 front yard setbacks, which we are dealing with since it is a corner lot, which limits our ability to do anything on the property. And then the third one, which I think is the biggest one, is the lot size. The lot itself is 8,387 square feet, which is less than the required 12,000 square feet. And as I was researching things for my parents, I learned that back in 1965, when the property was first built, that it required a variance to do so. So it's something that is obviously hindering us today. So those are the 3 hardships that I believe we're facing that would warrant a variance. Some of the other things that I know you guys look for is, how it would affect the neighborhood. Overall, Connecticut Ave and Victoria Avenue, most of the houses do have garages, so this would not be unique. And then in addition to that, both of our neighbors that border the property are in agreement with us building the garage. They were very understanding. They were willing to sign the sheets that were shared with you guys, indicating that they don't object to us doing so. In addition to that, Mr. Cunha, who is the property owner directly behind us, his house is also on a small lot. His house is very close to the back property line. So in us being allowed to build a garage, he would actually benefit from a cut down on road noise from Connecticut Ave, as well as privacy, which he today does not have any, with that whole area being open. Additional thing I'd like to make note of is, so even though the property on the left-hand side, once the garage is built, we would be 9.9 feet from the property line. The town does own a decent strip of land on the left-hand side, which is 30 feet. So the garage itself would be 39.9 feet from Victoria Ave. So we would not create any type of visibility or any type of safety concerns with anybody entering or exiting Victoria Ave. And outside of that, it obviously, for my parents, they're in their 80s. They relocated from Massachusetts. They're in the age where they do need our support with some health things that they're battling. And obviously with the New England winters, it would be fantastic if they had a garage to protect them from the snow, ice, and all of that. I know that has nothing to do with the hardship or why you would even think of providing that to us, but just something that we're hoping goes well today, and hopefully you guys will vote and approve this for us. But that essentially sums up the letter that I had provided, that I had given to Eric the other day. So I don't think there's anything else to share.
So this is your opportunity to now ask the applicant questions. We're through the chair there, so yeah, that's fine.
Who actually owns the property?
So my father, Antonio Giuliano, and my mother, Gloria, she's at home.
How long have they owned the property?
They purchased it in November.
Pardon?
And they purchased it in November of 2025.
Okay.
So not very long. They haven't been in town very long.
You're good? Good with the question?
No, I don't have any other.
Yeah. Through you, Mr. Chair, if I could.
Yeah. Mr. Lucas?
Yeah, more of a comment, Mr. Giuliano. I know we're here to consider circumstances with your lot and your parents' lot, I should say. And they had that original circumstance in 1965 where the lot was built with the original acceptance of the lot being smaller than it should have been, probably, to build the house on your existing conformance. So I just want to thank you for coming here on behalf of your parents and making this trip. I know it's 7 o'clock on a Thursday. And I think it's really kind of you to come out and do that on their behalf, and to come here on their behalf. A lot of people hire, and not to say this is not what you should do, a lot of people hire attorneys to come out here and do this for us. And you came out here on behalf of your parents. And I think that that's very commendable. And I think that existing variance with the lot that we'd already seen in 1965 creates a tremendous hardship for you, because the lot is positioned in a way that you could only build the garage there. And with these winters, I think we'd seen in the past few years, I think that's a good point. This past year, all of us would really like to have our cars in a garage, especially if our parents are pushing 80, and God love them. So thank you for coming here. Thank you for making the case. Happy to have you here. And that's really it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
April, you can ask questions
Oh,
even
I
though you're
can.
not seated,
Oh,
just so
okay.
you know. You just don't get to vote in the final.
Oh, okay.
Did you mention that there was, when you said you researched it, and did you say that there was a variance when it was originally built?
Yes. And
Yes, it's in my staff report as well, John. I know.
I
you
thought I
said-
read that there wasn't a variance previously.
No, there was. The lot was created by variance.
All right, so isn't there some regulations that there can't be two variances on the same property?
Not necessarily, no. There are no true regulations because there are a few houses in town that do have multiple variances.
I mean, this neighborhood obviously is the place where zoning regulations go to die. I mean, if you look around that neighborhood. The one thing you have the advantage is that used to be a trolley track in the front yard. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, no.
That's why it's so wide. So
Mhm.
that's why there's such a wide right of way on the front. But you mentioned 30 feet on the Victoria side. That's not 30 feet there.
I believe what he's saying is it's 30 feet from the corner of the proposed garage to the actual edge of pavement on Victoria Avenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I know that from our property line to the corner of the garage, it would only be 9.9 feet. What I was trying to say is if you add that to the 30 feet, which is owned by the town, the garage is essentially from Victoria Ave. It's 39.9 feet away.
No, that doesn't make sense. That'd be 40 feet.
Well, either way, you'd have to scale it, but there is, as you can see on the survey there.
See, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at it.
Right,
That's
understood.
not 30 feet there. It's 30 feet in the front.
I was going off of what Alan from BGI, the individual that did the variance, he calculated it to be 30 feet. That I have, I guess you can't really see it. And well, actually, yeah, the pictures that I attached to the letter kind of, if you look at the top one in the top left, it kind of gives you like a good visual of what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah. I'm just going by that GIS picture. If they're not dead accurate, but
But the survey that Alan provided for him shows the edge of pavement on Victoria. So that's all. And we could scale it. I just don't have a scale on me right now. I can go up and get one at the office if you'd like.
so there's no rear yard in a corner lot?
Their past practice has been that they would show, because you, on corner lots, because you gave up so much in the front, they gave you 10 and 10 in the back on the other two sides.
Mhm.
It's truly not in the regulations anywhere. But it's past
So that's
practice.
just a non-conforming too?
Again, there's no regulations in regard to it. A lot of people feel that that's the way it should be. And again, this predates
Calling it
me.
a side yard,
Right,
two side yards.
correct. And again,
I always question that two front yard thing. Anyway, it is a burden on the owners to begin with. But that's a big ask though, to wipe out 2/3 of it. The one thing you have going in your favor, I think, is that wide frontage in the front, that extra right of way in the front. And the fact that there's only 4 houses on Victoria Avenue, so.
True.
But if you look at the way that road is configured, someday if they ever did want to fix it, I'm surprised the engineer didn't mention that they would move that pavement, I'm sure, because they have to swing it around so it came in perpendicular to Connecticut Avenue. So that would bring it right up to the property line almost,
it could, I don't.
to make it safe, I'm saying.
Yeah,
They probably
understood.
never will do it. It's been like that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no comments. As far as I'm concerned, the neighbors are okay. If the neighbors that are gonna be most directly impacted by it are okay with it. He mentioned that you did like a study or something that showed that the garage wouldn't block any oncoming or incoming traffic from either side, so there's no real safety issue. There seems to be a need so the parents can have like extra space to put like equipment for like winter, cars, snow blowers, etc. Seems like a reasonable request to me.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll just say, it seems like a reasonable request and I agree. Does that kind of meet the definition of a hardship?
You can base your response on the hardships that he stated on the record, the corner lot, the two corner lots like you already spoke of, that the original lot was created by variance. And I have that noted in my stuff, and they had calculated the area of that lot at 8,191 square feet in 1965 or whenever, when they created it, because they created this lot and the lot just to the north at that time.
And the lot directly behind it, it looks like that's not exactly conforming.
Right,
to
this
anything.
subdivision, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But this is actually one of the older subdivisions in town. Most of them are 20 or 25 foot lots, so you had to buy 4 or 5 lots to get a house on there.
I've seen some where the
Right,
property line,
people will buy the 2 lots and put a shotgun house on there.
literally, there's properties there with the line goes through the house.
Right, so yeah, you can see here, there's like a few different lots there that original,
If
but
you pan out there, you'll see some really odd things there, but,
Mhm.
I would just say, it's not much of a reduction, but that 9.9 feet, just to make it a full 10 feet, it's 1.2 inches, so it's not gonna make a big difference on the garage. But also, there is another accessory building in that front yard that I think should be removed if we're going to allow this garage to be fully, be built out as far as it's going.
I believe Antonio can speak to that.
What building? Sorry.
There's an accessory, it looks like an accessory building there. That's your shed, right? Or is
On
that
the
the
aerial,
neighbors over on your property?
The tan one in the back
Yeah,
you're referring to? That's actually my neighbor's, Mr. Cunha.
It's on your property? It's your neighbor?
It's not, it's actually right on the property line. Right on the property line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is this that it's showing in the aerial view there? Or maybe it's removed.
Are you talking about this?
I believe
Yeah.
it's been removed. I will show it to Mr. Giuliano.
Oh, okay, so you're not referring to my pictures?
Yeah, sorry. There's another picture.
Oh, those have been removed from the
That has
property.
been removed. In
Yes.
fact, They got a shed recently and they put it farther back in the yard. Cause it's in the setbacks.
Yes, and there was a permit pulled for that.
Yes. Then I would say that should be part of the approval then, that there would be no other accessory buildings in there because.
Well, he couldn't get one approved by zoning. If he came in to get a permit, he couldn't get an accessory structure in that setback anyway, in that front yard setback. Cause it's in a front yard setback,
I thought sheds can be up to,
5 feet from the property line, but not in a front yard setback.
Okay,
So he's on a, in this
so that
case,
one was non-conforming to begin.
it
with.
was non-conforming,
Oh.
probably no permit. Yeah, be that as it may, I don't know.
Then my only thing to throw any water on would be just to make that a full 10-foot side, so at least it's equivalent to a legal side yard, and it's 1.2 inches. 0.1 foot is 1.2 inches.
Yeah, no, that's very reasonable.
That's just my opinion. I don't know how the rest of the.
I think that's a fair assessment, just to make it an even 10 foot, this way, yeah, seems reasonable.
Would that cause any onerous burden on you?
No,
No?
absolutely not.
Do you have any other questions? You're good?
My only comment is, I was just looking through the powers and duties, section 8.1.3, that all of the circumstances have to apply to grant the variance. And I'm just wondering about the hardship. It sounds like it's more of a preference than a hardship. I don't know. If you want to shed more light on that or.
The 3 hardships that I provided.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the lot itself is a very weird shaped lot. It's out of our control there. The 2 front setbacks, it's a corner lot. We don't have much control there. And then obviously the fact that the lot was approved back in 1965 to have a house built on it. Just in a really tough spot because there's not much that can be done with that lot.
Okay. So I guess my question, maybe just for ourselves, is the fact that the lot is small enough of a reason to grant the variance?
So I may point out one thing out of their narrative. If you read, I think it's the 3rd paragraph down, it starts with due to the combination.
Yeah.
That might help
Oh, okay.
or shed more light. I don't know, Mr. Giuliano can look at that and have that as well.
Okay.
So I think that's important. Thank you, Eric.
Well, that's why I raised the question, and along the same lines, is a two-car garage a luxury or a necessity?
And that's, that's a decision you guys can make.
But I look back at the regulations where, and we've had even arguments amongst ourselves here about, how they refer to it as, that we're here for considering these cases, and there has to be elasticity. They refer to elasticity in the regulation, so you really can't hammer that out in black and white.
Right, and each variance is based on its own merits. Just because you approve something here, it does not set precedence. You don't have to apply it to a neighbor next door. I mean, I'm just saying.
It
that-
doesn't, but if the guy next door comes with the same thing, then you.
Understood, but that is the nature of the beast with.
Yeah, but I
with the
look
Board of
back at that
Appeals.
elasticity, so we have flexibility to.
Yes, you do.
Do anything, so.
Yeah.
Any other?
These things are often like on a case by case basis, just because, like Eric was saying, just because it makes sense for this one doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make sense for a future one. So, and we're not exactly establishing precedents. So, yeah.
So, Eric, if just for clarity, so this house, it has 8,191 square feet and it's lot, and it was initially approved in an R10, right? So
That is correct.
But that variance, it was approved in an R10, and then it was later moved to an R12. So this thing is sitting how many thousands of square feet underneath of what it was approved?
About 3,500.
So we're talking about a case where you're allowed to build onto your house. You are allowed to. That's what we're here for. If these people decide that they want to build a two-car garage, that's their right. And the lot was already entirely wrong to begin with. It is just sitting in the wrong zone. It is already non-conforming. I mean, what is one supposed to say?
Right, because when the house was originally constructed, it had a 25-foot front yard setback and the building was conforming. Now you can see because of the dual setbacks, the front of the house is non-conforming as well. But again, that was not created by them because of the rezoning.
You know the regulation in 1965 for the dual front yard, or was there a dual front yard at that time?
I'm not sure because I don't have the 65 regulations. I will say that the plot plan that was submitted with the original one in 65 did not show the second front yard along Victoria Avenue.
Was Victoria Avenue even there at that time?
It showed it on the plot plan.
Oh, did-
Whether it was paved or not, it was there. I believe it was because there is a much older house behind the one right on the corner as you go back and turn.
Yeah, I don't agree with the narrative that it's by right, but again, we're here to be flexible if we.
Right, it's your decision to make.
Because if we go around saying it's a right, then we wouldn't be here at all for future ones.
I think maybe he meant to say that he has a right to build, within the regulations, and once you're outside of that, then this is what the purpose you guys serve.
Yeah, I just want to clarify.
I wasn't speaking for you.
And he has a right, and an already pre-existing lot that's almost 4,000 square feet under what it's zoned to make that request. That was the point.
Okay. Any other? Okay. I feel like we're good with I don't have any other questions or comments, but.
So this is the opportunity to get all your questions answered, and because once you close the public hearing, there's no more back and forth with the applicant. You would have to go through me if there's like some kind of negotiation or question.
Yeah.
So if there's any questions, what I recommend doing would be to leave the hearing open until next month. But you guys seem like you've answered most of them, but that's up to you guys.
Motion to close public hearing.
Well, if I may, you should call for anyone speaking in favor of or against from the public. Because I will read the 2 letters into the record that I did receive.
Okay.
I don't see anyone online, but you should just go ahead and verbally make that call anyway. So you could just call for it and then we'll see what happens.
Now I'll call anyone in the room or on Zoom who is in favor of the application.
I see no one on Zoom and no one in the room, Mr. Chairman. So, but I did receive 2 letters of support, which I will read into the record. And these letters were drafted by the applicant and sent to various neighbors. The first one says, "We, Richard and Mitchell Robertson of 385 Connecticut Avenue, Newington, Connecticut, acknowledge that our neighbors Antonio and Gloria Giuliano of 377 Connecticut Avenue, Newington, Connecticut, intend to apply for a zoning variance for the town of Newington. The requested variance would allow for the construction of an attached garage on the left side of their property as shown on the plan below. It is the same plan that he did submit for the application. We have reviewed the plan and have no objection to the requested variance and support the proposed improvement." Secondly, there is another one from Manuel Cuna of 6 Bismarck Avenue, Newington, Connecticut. Acknowledge that my neighbors Antonio and Gloria Giuliano of 377 Connecticut Avenue, Newington, Connecticut, intend to apply for a zoning variance for the town of Newington. The requested variance would allow for the construction of an attached garage on the left side of the property as shown in the plan below. I have reviewed the plan and have no objection to the requested variance and support the proposed improvement. I did not receive anybody against. I did have one person come in with a copy of the letter and ask some general questions. I showed him the package and he asked me, "Do I have to sign it?" I said, "That's up to you." I said, you do or you don't, or you can come to the hearing. And that's
So the letter was drafted by the,
applicants. We didn't do it. So,
and those are next door neighbors, 385?
yeah, 385 is an immediate one to the north. And then the other one is Mr. Kuna on Bismarck.
Okay. Which one is Bismarck? Oh, Bismarck is the,
He has his address on Bismarck Road, that's what Victoria wraps around,
okay.
I believe, yes.
So there's no houses on Victoria Avenue.
I think there's one house that has a Victoria Avenue address.
Okay.
It's
Well, again,
weird.
my reasoning, I'll be voting to approve, I'll say right now, but my reasoning, and I want to remind the board here that we had an application, you remember, down on Orchard Avenue?
Orchard, I was just thinking of
Yeah,
that.
and we shut that guy down and he was quite upset about it. We gave him some of what he wanted, but nowhere's near what he was requesting.
Right. And
The
that's,
reason being there is that street, he did not have he did have some right of way there. He had a big buffer there, which is part of the reason that we did allow it. But that's a busier road and not like this, that's only like basically a shared driveway. So I remember that guy out in the parking lot, he was fussing up and down that, we ruined his plans, but there's a house there now, right, Eric?
I don't know if it's there or it's under construction, one of the two. Yeah, I think that's probably close.
Pretty
to being
much there, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so we don't set precedent on this commission, so that's good. So one case doesn't necessarily imply another.
yeah. So again, back to this one, the reason that I would be more inclined is that large buffer in the front and smaller buffer on the side. But that deep setback caused by the former trolley line there.
I think the difference in the Orchard Road situation was it was a home and not a garage or a shed. I think that's the main reason why we rejected it.
Yeah, his garage was on the other side.
It was a lot was smaller as well.
Yeah, it was very small.
I have a couple of, you want me to review anything from my staff report or are you guys
From
good?
that other. Oh, you're talking about for this application?
Yes, out of my staff report.
You can.
So the house was approved by variance in July of 1964. And that allowed for the two undersized lots of 8,191 square feet each, where 10,000 feet was required at the time. The original subdivision in Homedale was produced in 1899 and predated the zoning regulations. At the time of that approval, the ZBA noted their reasoning as follows. The board finds that by reason of the exceptional shape and size of the subject property, exceptional difficulty or undue hardship would result from strict enforcement of the regulations, and therefore the application can be granted without detriment to the surrounding properties. That was their 1964 reason for granting the substandard lots at that time. And then as pointed out by Mr. Poole, they were later rezoned R12, which basically created, as you dealt with the last few years, numerous nonconformities throughout town. The town engineer did review for potential conflicts for safety and sightline, and the engineer found that the applicant's requests were, if it were to be approved as shown on the submitted plan, the addition of the existing garage would not affect the sightline or safety at the intersection of Connecticut Avenue and Victoria Avenue.
Again, that's probably due to that wide right away in the front, and that probably helped influence them back in 65 as well. There were still trolley beds, when I was young around that time.
Right, because if you see on their plan, it says Connecticut Avenue, formerly known as Hobson Avenue. That side was Hobson Avenue. The other side of the tracks was actually Roosevelt Avenue.
Really? So there was two roads
Yep,
there?
the trolley line bisected.
Right
yeah.
down the middle?
Yep. So you'll see old plot plans that have Hobson Avenue addresses or Roosevelt Avenue addresses.
I could draw you a map, the way that route went the whole way through town, because I grew up on the side of the trolleys. We still have a trolley bridge out in the woods behind Emmanuel Christian Academy.
Yep.
The abutments are there.
So
Trolley cars.
at this point, if you feel you're good and you'd like to close the public hearing, you may do so. And then again, that's if you want to
Motion
canvass
close
everyone.
public hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second to close the public hearing?
I'll second it.
And then we'll do a voice vote. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay. Passes. We
All right.
close the public hearing.
It's closed.
Next, we'll move on to item number 4 of the agenda, which is the work session. This is where we vote, right?
No, you actually do not vote here. This is where you just,
Discuss it.
you kind of have your discussion about that. You guys may get in line with, thinking about changing motions or making motions. I have given you a draft motion for both approval and denial, as I always do. And you can choose to alter it as you see fit going forward, but this is where you guys have those discussions about kind of what you were just having about past practice and other things, elasticity, all that kind of good stuff. And then you can get out of this. And I think we have a couple other things before we get back into.
To the vote, okay. You mentioned making it
The 1 inch,
altercation,
yeah,
the 1 inch.
that 9.9, just make it to 10 feet.
I think that's reasonable. I like the 10 feet.
So that would be a condition.
Yeah, we'd have to alter it kind of.
We would just, you would change your motion to make it read 10 feet. You would have to do the math and make it 10 feet and the reduction. And then I would have the map updated before he submitted it as well.
And then you said that it's no need to condition that no more structures in that.
If you feel you have to or you want to, you can. Again, it's a front yard setback and I wouldn't approve a shed in the front yard. The shed that he came in and got a permit for is actually back in his yard where it should be, behind the primary structure.
Because I remember the one that was there was kind of unsightly.
Yes. They're aware, and he took it down. I think that's what started this whole thing. He came in about the shed, then he asked me about the garage, and he was, oh.
Okay. So any other comments or discussion through the work session? We have to close this as well.
You really don't have to close it. Maybe did you canvass everyone? It's up to you. I'm good. Okay.
Commissioner Blanchard, you're in? Okay, I think we're good. So we move next to item number 5, minutes of previous meeting and then approval of minutes. Has everyone read or has everyone looked over the minutes or have any issues?
I don't have any issues.
No? Okay, so we need,
Just, it's usual, get a motion and
okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes.
And I need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, and then do we need a roll call or can we just do another voice
you
vote?
can do a voice vote as part of it.
Okay, we'll have another voice vote on this. All in favor signifying aye.
Aye.
And then all opposed, say nay. Okay, hearing no opposition, passes. Next, we'll move on to item number 6, communications and reports.
I really don't have anything to report. I know, I did start working on, I know we had discussions about the vertical expansions. I have looked into most of the towns that have regulations in regards to vertical expansions. are actually shore towns and lake towns because of the small tiny lots where cottages are. So like I can't find anything in Weathersfield or Berlin or, any adjacent neighbor. So we could certainly utilize those, but they might be more,
For that, those types of
yeah,
areas.
but it's a work in progress. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions on anything, I'll try and answer them, but I don't think I have anything else. We are working on, the planning commission is working on updating the zoning regulations to comply with state statutes in regards to one of the new housing acts, 25-1, which is coming online July 1st. So we have to have some hearings on some zoning regulations. So those will be rolling out in the next couple months as well.
So this is your reports, basically communications and reports?
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question? It's been a peeve of mine, the buses on Garfield Avenue there, and I argued with the engineer that they're actually parked in the right of way of Garfield Avenue, but you can't, there's nothing that the town can do against enforcement against itself, I guess.
Right. The town it exempts itself from zoning, just like any state and federal property is exempt from
I
zoning.
think it's a
and/or
safety
blight.
hazard though, too. I mean, there's no line there. There's no guardrail, obviously, because they want to be able to pull in and out like that,
Mhm.
which I understand why they do it, but.
So my recommendation to you is if you haven't reached out to Lieutenant Ryan Dean, he's the legal traffic authority for Newington, and see if he has any issues with it.
There's not even a line, I don't think, on the side of the road. You just drift off the road, you're gonna plow into a pile of buses.
Yeah.
That's just been a peeve of mine.
All right.
Then I think we'll move on to, no one has any other questions or comments? No one here? Then we'll move on to item number 7, new business, which is the petition. And I
So
believe,
this is where if you
we
choose to
vote.
make a motion, you would have to
and as-
tweak it again to whatever you want it to. And the motion would reflect those numbers.
and as the chair, I can't make a motion, right?
No, the secretary typically does, and somebody can second it.
Okay.
Just a quick question. So if we
Absolutely.
do change it from 9.9 to 10, does that change any of the other numbers? The
Yeah.
35 foot to 27 to the 20.1, like I'm guessing will all
That's
those.
the 20.1 that would get changed, right?
So if you're changing the 9.9,
I just want to make sure that whatever
Yep.
we're reading off is correct, like mathematically and makes
I hear you,
sense.
yeah. I do.
to 10 feet. So,
Well, it'd be the setback from 30 to just to 10.
right, that is correct.
Yeah.
There's no extra math in this one.
Dr. Matt, that's it?
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that there was no extra math.
Okay. You'd like to make a motion?
Yeah, so I make a motion to approve the variance as amended, so move to grant 7.1 variance to reduce the required front yard setback on the Connecticut Ave frontage from 35 foot to 27.9 and a 20.1 foot variance to reduce the required second front yard setback on Victoria Ave frontage on the corner lot at 377 Connecticut Ave from 32 and then as amended 10 foot to allow for the construction of a 22 foot by 24 foot attached garage as depicted in the submitted plan. This variance is for the garage only, does not reduce the entirety of the front yard setbacks.
Can I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And
It says here reasons for approval or denial
Yes.
should be discussed, but I think we've.
I think we've already
During
discussed
the-
that pretty thoroughly.
public hearing, yeah. And now we'd like a roll call. Initiate roll call.
That's fine.
Commissioner Bashan,
Yes.
Commissioner Donald,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kolakowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Rule,
Yes.
and Commissioner Lucas.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Okay, motion passes. Can we do, just a question, would we do a voice vote on that as well, or no?
I prefer just a
Roll call?
roll call vote myself on that. Anything you're actually
Just to have it on
taking
record.
action. Yes,
Just so we
Good
can
luck.
show like what we got.
exactly.
No, here.
What I'm gonna ask the applicant is, the only thing I'm gonna ask is that you do get the survey update to show that 10 feet. So have Alan update that and then just bring me back a copy of that. You will get a certificate of variance in the mail. Once you get that, you bring that back to the town clerk's office and you record that on the land records. And then you let me know what volume and page it's in. And then I can close it out and we'll be able to issue permits going forward. It might be like a week to 10 days before you get the actual certificate of variance because it has to come certified. So,
And that 1 inch is kind of splitting hairs, but you can't have an overhanging soffit and,
Yep.
right? We're talking about the corner of the, I don't even know where, because we're talking about this much, so.
Yeah.
Is it the foundation? Is it the siding?
it's usually the foundation is what they measure from. So yeah, you can have these things.
Consider, okay, so we've closed our new business. We'll move on to item number 8, old business. Seeing that we have none, we'll move on to our item number 9, public participation for items not listed on the agenda. Call
Yeah.
anyone in the room or over Zoom.
So there is no one online, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing no one on Zoom or in the room wanting to testify, I'd like to move to item number 10, which is adjournment. Can I have a motion?
Sorry.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second?
Second.
We'll have a voice vote. All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. All say nay. We seem adjourned.
See you in another 3 months.
Yeah, gotta bang the gavel to make it official.
Thank you, everyone.
We're adjourned. No problem, man. Good luck.
Good luck and have a great evening.
Quick question, Eric.
Yeah,
Found in the front yard, we can remove it.
you can remove it, bring it back to me, you'll get your $40 back.